Sting's last match. The icon, the surfer, I don't want to say this, but the vigilante. Sting has gone by many names, but Trevor, he has always been iconic. No matter what gimmick he's done, Wolfpack Sting, Joker Sting, Surfer Sting, Man Cold Sting, doesn't matter. This dude has done it all, seen it all, accomplished it all, and been at the top of as one of the most respected wrestlers of all time. Darby Allin recently came out with a Players Tribune article about what Sting in the past few years with him have meant. It's all coming to an end at Revolution. We will talk about the match and who's going to win and all that stuff. But you have watched Sting for a very long time, much longer than I've even been alive. And I say that because you come from a place of wisdom that I think a lot of people don't have about Sting. So tell me in your own words, what has Sting meant to professional wrestling? What is his legacy? And put that into perspective as best you can on this show.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people, when they talk about like legacy of wrestling and the story of wrestling, they mention a handful of names. The main one they mention, unfortunately, is Hulk Hogan.
It's a damn shame, isn't it?
It's terrible. The man can't wrestle, can't act. Anyway, of course, Ric Flair's in there, Dusty Rhodes, guys like Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson. You got a bunch of names that are thrown in there. We said John Studd. You got a bunch of people. One name that people fail to mention is Sting. Sting was a bodybuilder. Actually, and a lot of people don't realize Sting actually had a tag team partner one time, and it was the Ultimate Warrior. They built them together because they were friends. They used to work out together and all kinds of other stuff. And then Warrior went that way, and they used Sting for other things. And and everyone wants to talk about how Hulk Hogan was the American Dream. Sting was right there with him, with the American flag, face paint, carrying the flag out to the ring. His first title was he won it off Ric Flair, and when he won that title, the ring, everyone around you, the stadium erupted. This was unheard of before. No one thought he was going to do it. No, they actually, if I'm not mistaken, they weren't even going to drop the belt to him. But he had done so much work. He'd been respected. He got the belt. Seeing Sting as a kid, because I got a chance to see Surfer. I got a chance to see a lot of iterations of Sting. Surfer Sting with his multiple face paint. And then, of course, Blackface Sting, which if no one...
What?
Ooh, that sounded bad. Whiteface Sting.
Oh, wow. I was like, that's a version of Sting that I don't think anyone wants to see.
Edit that.
You got it, dude.
Black and white Sting. Sorry about that.
That somehow sounds worse.
Or you can just say Crow Sting.
Yeah, there we go. Crow Sting would have done it. Blackface Sting. I'm sorry.
The funniest thing, though, about it, when you think back on it, he really did look like Brandon Lee. He really did.
It was scary, dude. I was like you watch the lead up to Starrcade '97. It is uncanny. Those two look smack dab alike.
His hair was about the same length too.
It was the same shape too, like that, kind of square,
crazy.
Long.
They were the same. I don't want to say they were the same age. I don't know if they were. They may have been, but I know definitely they were same body build and everything. Sting. I remember when the NWO thing happened and everyone was, who's gonna be our champion, blah, blah, blah. And then when they started talking about Sting, we started seeing him, dude. It was just it was like eerie and cool all at the same time, right? Like it was just awesome. And like when he really started like putting himself in the match, they started implementing more. And like as a kid, I'm like, whoa, like because I'm at this time I'm literally a kid. I'm like 13 years old, like 12, 13 years old. My oldest brother worked at Capital One Arena before I did, and he was a big wrestling fan. So he took me and my nephew to Starcade, and we're in the back, and I got a chance to shake Sting's hand. He was one of the first real wrestlers I ever got a chance to shake hand, and that it was just a great match. Sting was without Sting, wrestling wouldn't look the same. It wouldn't it wouldn't be the same. Darby Allin wouldn't be who he is right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. Darby's an amazing talent, amazing wrestler. I've been watching Darby on the Indies for a long time. The amount of knowledge that Darby got from Sting, you can see it. It's leaps and bounds. He wouldn't have been TNT champion. He wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have done some of the things he's done. Darby Allin would not be who he is right now if it wasn't for Sting. A lot of wrestlers wouldn't be who they are now if it wasn't for Sting. Like watching Sting wrestle these last couple of years is like history in the making. It's just watch what is he gonna do now? This what 60-year-old man jumping off stuff?
65.
65-year-old man jumping on of things onto tables, taking chair shots.
Trevor,
Like
he is 40 years older than me, nearly 40 years older than me, and the man is doing things that my body would whimper at even
exactly.
thinking about.
Like it's it's incredible what Sting is doing right now. Like he deserves his flowers, man. He definitely does. He deserves to have a nice long retirement.
Good for him. Yeah, and I agree with you, especially on the Darby Allin point. Like Sting has said this. He said the best tag team partner I've ever had, better than Luger, better than Warrior, has been Darby Allin, and I agree with you. Like there's there's a lot of instances of like older guys coming in and not giving younger guys the rub necessarily, like by hanging out with them. Sting has done that for Darby Allin and then some. Like it transcended like being that weird thing that they just did, putting the two guys with face paint together into being
Right.
something real, and like you could see the connection between these two. You could see that there was a real bond there. You could see all of that, like every single thing that Darby Allin has accomplished in AEW nearly, Sting has been there. You mentioned the TNT titles. People forget when he wrestled CM Punk, Sting was there. At the first
Was.
dance, when he was looking down at Punk, Sting was there. When he wrestled Christian Cage in the main event of Seattle, Sting was there. He has been there. He has been there for Darby Allin's ups, downs, and everything in between. And it's a testament to the man and the wrestler that Sting is that he has done all of that without taking the spotlight away from Darby Allin, because it could have been so easy. So easy. He did.
And people
He
would have allowed it. People would have been fine with it because of who he is.
Exactly. And even Darby Allin says he would have been fine with it, but Sting has always refused. Even to this day, his thing was, I am not doing a singles match as my last match. I want to go out with Darby.
Yep.
And think about what that means, honestly, to Darby, but think about what that tells you about Sting, but also Darby Allin. That someone like Sting would say, this is my ride or die.
Yep.
And it's going to be my last night in wrestling. It's going to be my last match ever. I'm going out with him. And it's a lot. That's awesome.
It is. It says a lot about Darby, like you said, a lot about Darby Allin and a lot about their relationship. Honestly, it's just it's amazing. So, like you said, you didn't technically grow up with him like I did. What was your first like introduction to
TNA
Sting?
Sting. 2005, 2006, TNA Sting.
And I was still some. He did still did good work there too. Like he did a lot of.
Oh, well, this is like him versus Angle. And then they did the
Oh,
main
yeah.
event Mafia. We had main event Mafia Sting. Like, yeah. And then Joker.
The Joker's
Yeah.
thing was actually one of my favorite, and I always say that because he really showed how versatile he could be. Like, like he's always been this macho in your face, like real cool guy, real subtle guy, or he's been completely animalistic when he was in the NWO. Like, I'm gonna kick your ass, I'm gonna beat you with a bat. Like, he's been that guy, but he's never been psychotic.
He's as quick as a cat, and he hits him with a bat. Man called Sting.
That segment where he's sitting there talking to Hulk. Hey, Hulkster. Hey.
Hulkamania. Yeah. Oh my god. Shout out to Joker Sting. I mean, we could talk for like hours, literally, about Sting's career.
Yeah.
But there is a match. Sting's last match. It's happening. Greensboro Coliseum, a packed house, and like that also like tells you like so much. Like at a time where like look, AEW like let's be honest, like especially for Dynamites, like they're not selling as many tickets as they used to.
Nope.
And like pay-per-views still tend to do good, like, and really good in some instances. They get 10,000 usually. Wrestle Dream, they got like 6,700. Greensboro, the second it was announced that it was Sting's last match, the second tickets went on sale, hotcakes. Those are selling like hotcakes. 16,000 people showing up to Greensboro, North Carolina for Sting's last match.
Craziness.
Love that, man. Love that for Sting.
Absolutely, man. So I know what my pick is.
Well,
I don't know what.
Let's talk about the match. Got Sting and Darby Allin, been AEW World Tag Team Champions for a few weeks now. Going into Sting's last match, defending against the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson.
I absolutely love this gimmick, by the way.
It's amazing.
I absolutely love
it. You know Trevor. You know what they did, right? This week, I love it. I also love how they've been like they're company guys. They're like we're company guys. We're only gonna wrestle on Rampage.
Right.
This week on Rampage, they went out there and they have renamed the Meltzer driver. Do you know what it's called now?
No.
Because Tony Khan did not win Booker of the Year this year.
Right.
It went to, or Promoter of the Year, went to Nick Khan. So out of spite against Meltzer, because they are company men, the EVPs, it has now been renamed the Tony Khan driver.
That's great.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, man. Well, we got some chats here. We got Sting and Darby Job says Sting and Darby will win, but the Bucks will pull out some weird kind of EVP rule that they will obtain the belts. I think you gotta have a finish. Nah, you gotta have a finish.
Yeah, you gotta have a good finish, but
one way
I get what he's saying. I get exactly what he's saying. It's gonna be some weird shit that happens.
Joe also says, I bet the Bucks will instate some rule where Sting retires. The Bucks will make Darby wrestle the match. And that would be mean. That would be really mean. I can see that though. Actually, Joe says, and the Bucks will say since Sting is retired. Yep. New tag champs. Trevor, that's the $1 million question. Are we getting new tag champs at Revolution? Yes or no?
I hate to say it, but yeah, I think so. Because you would like to see Sting go out on top, but I think he's gonna lose the belts. I don't think they're gonna pin him, but I think he's gonna lose. They're gonna lose the belts.
Man, it's 4 title changes on this card.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting because right now Ric Flair is like pretending to be on, or he's siding with the Young Bucks now.
Right.
I would love for part of the finish of the match being, because like, you know how Ric Flair has like always been like a thorn in Sting's side.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And every time that Sting has trusted Ric Flair, woo! Like every single time. It's like not even it's past being a meme. It's just like Sting, come on, like you got to be smarter than this, right?
Come on, guys.
Anyway, but so Sting is going to be. I'm gonna see a scenario somewhere along the lines of where Ric Flair tries to pull the wool over Sting's eyes one final time. And after all these years, Sting has learned his lesson.
Yep.
You know what? You changed my mind about something earlier, and now I've changed my own mind about something. Sting retains and retires as the reigning, defending, undisputed AEW World Tag Team Champion.
I hope he does.
That
I
would be
really
cool.
hope he does.
Either that or make the Young Bucks do that. I'm sorry. I love you.
Sorry.
It'd be hilarious.
Still do that, but like Sting win.
Just kick the shit out of the Ric. Just do it to Ric Flair. Just kick the shit out of Ric Flair on the side. I'm sorry. I love you. It'll be amazing. Oh man. So 4 title changes. Man, it's gonna be a hell of a card.